You slept, but your mind didn't really rest. Maybe you woke up already thinking about numbers, bills, deadlines, that quiet pressure sitting in your chest before the day even started. And even when nothing urgent is happening, there's this low, constant tension, like something could go wrong at any moment. Part of you is tired of carrying this. Maybe you've been telling yourself, I just need more money, then I'll feel okay. But deep down, you've seen it before. Even when things improve, the peace doesn't always follow. The anxiety just changes shape and waits for the next reason to come back. And you haven't really said this out loud, but money has started to feel heavier than it should. Like it's not just about survival anymore. It's about your sense of safety, your identity, even your future, all wrapped into something that feels unstable and unpredictable. That's exhausting. And here's the part that might surprise you. What you're feeling right now isn't just about money. It's about uncertainty. It's about control. It's about the fear of what if nothing changes. But stay with me for a moment, because what if some of that fear isn't telling you the truth? What if the anxiety you've been listening to has been shaping your reality more than your actual circumstances? And what if today something begins to shift? Not in your bank account first, but in you. It doesn't start with money. It starts with a feeling that there's not enough. Not enough security, not enough margin, not enough certainty about what's coming next. And when that feeling sits in you long enough, it quietly becomes a belief that begins to shape how you see everything. Maybe you've been living from that place without even realizing it. A mindset of lack doesn't always sound loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle. It sounds like, I need to hold on tighter, or I can't afford to make a mistake, or even if this doesn't work out, I don't know what I'll do. And over time, that pressure builds until your decisions are driven more by fear than clarity. And that's where the anxiety keeps growing, because when everything depends on you, it never feels like enough. But there's another way to see this, a quieter truth that steadies you: provision. Not just income, not just numbers, but the belief that what you need will meet you, that there is a source beyond your effort, beyond the economy, beyond what you can currently see, and that source hasn't lost track of you. God hasn't lost track of you, even here, even with the questions you don't have answers to yet, even with the numbers that don't quite make sense. Even with the pressure you've been carrying in silence, there is still a path being formed, one step at a time, in ways you may not fully recognize yet. And this is where something begins to shift, because when you move from lack to provision, you don't stop being responsible, you just stop being alone in it. Peace doesn't come from having everything. It often begins with how you hold what's already in your hands. Not perfectly, not with pressure, but with a quiet sense of care that says, I'm going to handle this moment well. Because stewardship isn't about control, it's about attention. Maybe part of the stress you've been feeling isn't just about how much you have, but the weight of avoiding it, the unopened app, the numbers you don't want to look at, the small decisions that feel easier to delay until they quietly become something heavier, and that avoidance keeps the anxiety alive. But this is where something simple and powerful can begin. Not a complete overhaul, not a perfect system, just one honest look, one moment where you sit down, breathe, and gently face what's real. No judgment, no shame, just clarity, because clarity, even when it's uncomfortable at first, has a strange way of creating space. And that space is where peace starts to return. You don't need to fix everything today. You just need to reconnect with it. Check what's coming in. Notice what's going out. Make one small, intentional decision that aligns with where you want to go, not where fear is pushing you. And that is stewardship. There comes a moment where quiet action isn't enough. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because something deeper needs to shift. Not in your bank account yet, but in your internal posture, in the way you speak, the way you expect, the way you allow possibility back into your life. Because fear has a voice, and if you've been carrying financial stress for a while, that voice has probably been loud. It repeats the worst-case scenario, keeps you bracing. It trains you to expect delay instead of breakthrough, to expect closed doors instead of favor, and slowly it shapes your reality. But there's another voice, softer but stronger, truth, and sometimes you have to speak it before you fully feel it. Not as denial, not as pretending everything is fine, but as alignment. So pause, take a breath, and say this: I am stepping into peace and provision. Doors are opening for me. Say it again, slowly. I am stepping into peace and provision. Doors are opening for me. Let those words settle, because something happens when you speak like this. You interrupt the old pattern. You stop rehearsing fear and begin creating space for something new. And this is where breakthrough begins. Sometimes the answer isn't far away. It's just been unnoticed. When you've been under financial pressure for a while, your focus narrows. You start looking only at what's urgent, what's lacking, what feels stuck, and without realizing it, you can miss the quiet opportunities sitting just outside that stress. Not because they aren't there, but because anxiety makes them harder to see. And this is where a gentle shift matters. Not forcing solutions, not chasing everything, just becoming open again. Because open doors don't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's a conversation you almost didn't have, a message you thought about ignoring, a skill you haven't used in years, a small idea that didn't seem important at first but keeps coming back to your mind. Those are strategic doors, subtle, easy to overlook, but often aligned with exactly what you need next. And here's the part most people miss. These doors rarely show up when you're tense. They appear when you're present, when your mind isn't racing, when your body softens, when you're no longer gripping so tightly to how things have to work. You begin to notice more, and that is alignment. You don't have to carry the how anymore. That part, the figuring out, the constant mental replay of how is this going to work, has been exhausting you, not because you're weak, but because you were never meant to hold that much uncertainty on your own. You've planned, you've thought it through, you've run every scenario in your mind, and still there are gaps. Still there are questions that don't have clear answers yet. And that's where the tension keeps pulling you back in. But right here you can release that. Not your responsibility, not your effort, just the weight of needing to control the outcome. God, I've been holding so much. You see the pressure, the thoughts I haven't shared, the quiet fear about what's ahead. And I don't want to carry this alone anymore. I release the need to figure everything out right now. I release the timelines, the expectations, the fear of things not working, and I place it in your hands. I trust that you are my source, even when I don't see the full path yet. Even in uncertainty you are steady, even in waiting you are working, and even now you are making a way. It might feel counterintuitive. When money feels tight, The instinct is to hold on tighter, to protect what you have, but sometimes holding too tightly blocks the very flow you need. This isn't about giving recklessly, it's about posture, because generosity says I trust there is more than just this moment. Even something small shifts something inside you. It moves you out of survival and into alignment. Maybe generosity right now is small, helping someone, offering your time, your presence, still counts because you're creating space, reminding yourself that you are not stuck. And over time that becomes a loop, not always immediate, but real. You begin to notice that as you release a little, something returns, sometimes in provision, sometimes in opportunity, sometimes in peace. Something feels different now. Maybe your situation hasn't fully changed yet, but inside there's more space, more calm, like something tightly wound has started to loosen. And that matters, because this is how real change begins. Not all at once, but in quiet alignment. You're thinking clearer, breathing deeper, and maybe you don't feel as alone as before. Hold on to that, because what started here isn't just a moment, it's a shift. Say this: I am supported, I am guided, I am stepping into financial peace. The video may end, but the peace doesn't have to. Don't rush back into stress. Protect what you felt. Give yourself a few quiet minutes. Let your mind settle, and when thoughts return, notice them, but don't follow them. You can say, not right now. I'm choosing peace first. That's not avoidance. That's leadership. Tomorrow will come with the same responsibilities, but you won't be the same. Start your day with 1 minute of stillness. Then take one small step. Just one. That's enough. Because momentum comes from consistency. Before you go, thank God for meeting you here. Thank Him for the peace already beginning. Even if your situation is still unfolding, ask Him to guide your steps, to align you with the right opportunities, and to help you stay grounded in peace. Not rushed, not forced, just right. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are in process, and that process is being guided. So move forward gently. You don't need to rush. You don't need to have it all figured out. Just keep walking from peace. When life gets busy again, pause, take one breath. Remember, you are not alone. Things are aligning in ways you cannot fully see yet, and your job isn't to force the outcome. It's to stay grounded while the path unfolds. And now, just rest for a moment. No more thinking, no more solving. Just breathe. Let everything settle. Let the peace stay. You are safe to rest, and you are going to be okay.